I know where all the guys that walk around at night and really shady, and that's where they sell their crack and everything like this. All of a sudden, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, is that her? This is the only blonde walking down the street, totally dark, hair is all messed up. She looked like she had gotten in a fight or something like this. Hello, and welcome to another episode of Story Time. I'm your host, Freddie Shaban. And today I have a very interesting story for you with a really strong, important message, but it's also a very sad story. So, whether you're ready or not, here we go. So the year was 2005. I was operating as an escort agent in Las Vegas, Nevada. I hired this beautiful, gorgeous, vivacious, blonde, sort of petite. It was just a perfect combination of beauty, personality, and she was a firecracker boy. This girl was, I will never forget her. I mean, just a great, great personable person. She was very, very outgoing. She's very social, and I couldn't wait to start working with her. Started making good money, and she told me that, and she showed me pictures and everything back then where she used to actually be a cheerleader for the Dallas Cowboys, the NFL team. And she was just all proud of all the stuff that she's accomplished. And she went to college, she went to university, and she graduated, and she just was in hard times, and she wanted, at least that's what she told me at the beginning. And remember, back then in Las Vegas, I did not do my due diligence as far as recruitment selection or HR. I just hired beautiful girls that wanted to work, and it didn't look like they had a lot of problems, right? Because I was really busy, and I was working with over 200 escorts at the time, so it was a big operation. Anyways, so I hired this girl, and she started working. She was in her about 28, 29 years old. And she told me she had a boyfriend and everything, and they're trying to make it work, and he knew what she was doing. In fact, at some point I had met him. So now we go our ways, and she's working and I'm working, and I barely really saw her maybe once a week if I'm lucky. Like I said, I was really, really busy at the time. So one of the girls that did a couple of jobs with her told me that she was acting weird, and the cheerleader was, and that she would go to the bathroom during the session and spend a lot of time in there and come back all, like she was on speed, and, just talking really fast, and her eyeballs were all, like a deer in the headlight. And so I said, okay. So one night, one of her good clients, which loved her, he used to come back to Vegas all the time, one of our gambling clients, wanted to see her again. He had seen her before for a dinner date. And back then we did a lot of dinner dates in Vegas. It was part of the experience, right? And we charged $3,000 from like 6 p.m. to 2 to 4 a.m. And they had dinner, and they went gambling or saw a show or did everything they wanted. They went upstairs for private time, had a great time. And that was it. So this one client that I'd seen her a couple of times before, now the cheerleader has been working with me for about 3 or 4 months. So I booked her for $3,000, and she texted me that she was okay and she got the money right at dinner, like she was supposed to. And around 1 o'clock, I got a call from the phone girl that was handling, this cheerleader's calls. Okay, I had, a bunch of phone girls, and each one was assigned so many escorts. And she said that the client just called and said that he doesn't know where the cheerleader is. I'm like, what do you mean? She told me that the client told her that they went to dinner, and then they went to listen to a band at the casino he was staying at. And then they went to started gambling, and she was just, watching him, and she said she's going to go and gamble. I knew she liked to gamble. And then he just never heard from her again, never saw her. And so he was calling us because he didn't have her direct number. I'm like, what the hell's going on? So I'm calling the cheerleader's number. I'm calling, no answer. I'm like, So I told, of course, the phone girl that if she hears from her to contact me immediately. And now I got her boyfriend calling me. He said that she called him and she was all whacked out. And she said she doesn't want to live anymore and she's going to, go kill herself and all sorts of stuff. I'm like, what the hell is going on? I said, well, what do you think she is? He goes, man, last time she was like that. She had some, depression issues and bipolar and all that stuff. He said last time she was like that, she ended up in Naked City. I'm like, Naked City? So for all of you who don't know what Naked City is, it's basically the strip past Sahara. So if you get to Sahara and the strip, once you go north of that, right, which is towards downtown Las Vegas, and you'll be passing the stratosphere on your left-hand side, that whole area right there is called Naked City. And Naked City is known for drug activities. They sell crack, heroin, you name it, crystal meth, gang activities, shooting. There's more shootings in Naked City at the time than anywhere else in Nevada. And there was a lot of LA gangs coming down to Naked City, to Las Vegas to work and do their thing. So that's where they were kind of concentrated. So it's not really it's not a good area you want to be at. It's a very bad area, very dangerous area. And in fact, a lot of the lights are out, I think it was done on purpose by the gang members or whatever. This way they could, handle their business at night and nobody could see them. So I said, what the hell is going on? So I was really concerned. So I knew a couple of people that were, you should say, affiliated, right? So I told them to keep an eye on her. And I said, I'm going to be driving down that way and we'll see what happens. I started just driving around. I know where all the guys that walk around at night and really shady, and that's where they sell the crack and everything like this. All of a sudden, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, is that her? This is the only blonde walking down the street, totally dark, hair is all messed up. She looked like she had gotten in a fight or something like this. She had a really nice outfit on, nice dress, mini dress or whatever, and no shoes. And I'm like, what the hell's going on? And she's talking to herself. So I stopped by and she's like, she started talking some stuff. And she thought that I was, going to try to pick up on her or something like this. So I called out her name. I said, hey, get in the car. So she looked at me and she started crying. And she had makeup all over, smearing all over. I mean, this is a very, very pretty girl in a really bad area. And this is now around 2 o'clock, 2:30 in the morning. I'm like a Saturday night, crazy stuff. I'm like, what the hell is happening? Now she walked in the car, and I'm telling you, I keep my cars really clean. I'm very, very OCD about that, the smells and all that. She smelled like crap. I'm like, what the hell is going on with you? And she just started crying and talking gibberish. And she said she almost got raped, and they took her purse, and they took all the money that she made tonight, and she doesn't know what to do, and she was worried about me. And what a mess. What a mess. It really makes me feel sad even today talking about it. So I took her home, had a talk with her boyfriend outside. I said, man, you got to get her some help. I don't think it's a good idea that she even works with me or at this point with anybody else. She needs some help for sure. It was very obvious. And I don't really talk to her or see her for probably about 6 or 8 weeks later. And then she said she wanted to meet up with me, and we met for lunch, and she was looking really good. And she said that she was in rehab and she had gained some weight, and she was looking great and bubbly and just like the way I know her. But I never really gave her a job back, to be honest with you, because I knew that it's just not a good fit, and it does not help her issues. She had a lot of issues. She had, sexual abuse issues. She has abandonment issues. She had daddy issues. I mean, you name it, she had it. She was bipolar, but diagnosed with bipolar, schizophrenic, and all this stuff. And she was actually smoking crack at the time. And she admitted to me what she was doing and what happened that night. And she was really, really sad and remorseful and all that. And, talked to her a few times, and then we lost track, and I went my way and she went her way. But anyways, that's about it. Sorry, it's not one of those wild and crazy. It's kind of wild and crazy, but in a different way, right? So I was thinking about the stories that I was going to tell you today, and this came up. I remembered her for some reason, so I just wanted to share with you. Okay, I hope you enjoyed another episode of Story Time. I'm your host, Freddie Shaban. Stay healthy, stay safe, and stay happy.